Hey, it's me again, Keniyshawatts, and I'm here today giving you healing by faith. Today, we're going to talk about crazy faith. You know, that faith that, you just feel like you can do whatever it is with God, though. And I'm just going to just take you through my journey and just kind of give you some of my crazy faith moments. And yeah, that's what we're gonna do. All right, so let's just jump right into my little crazy faith moments. So, as many of you know, I'm battling stage 4 breast cancer. Yes, I know I don't look like it, but just a few months ago, I was 94 pounds, unable to walk, unable to eat. It was horrible. I was not able to hold my baby, who is 1 year old, until just this past, December, January actually. And I really had to let God really guide me through this journey, because I just did not have my crazy faith as when I started off in the beginning of my journey. So I'll say about August, I've started to become very ill. I didn't know what was going on. I just know that I had a lot of pain, like my head was hurting. My back was like in excruciating pain to the point where I was always hunched over. I just could not walk at all. It would be some days where I had to crawl to the bathroom. I had to crawl to get out of the bed, and it was horrible. And I honestly did not know if I was going to make it through all of this. I honestly did not know that I would be here today because of how bad things had gotten. But I had to remind myself that it is God who is bringing me through this, and not myself, and not the doctors, not mama, not daddy, not hubby, nobody but God. So I had to just really let go and let God really guide me through this. I'm telling y'all, when you have that crazy faith, God will bring you through the most difficult situations. I'm just telling you that right now, because how my situation was from the outside looking in, y'all would have thought like, oh my God, like she's gonna go, she's gonna die. So like I say, back in November, actually, I was in a desperate situation to where I needed a doctor. I needed a new holistic doctor because my former holistic doctor, she pretty much just jumped ship. She could not help me anymore. My breast, what the cancer was in, it started to open up. It started to drain. It started to pus. It was horrible. It smelled. I did not want my husband to touch me, to be around me. I did not want my kids to be around me. It was that bad. And I didn't know what to do. I kept going to different doctors and specialists and all this, and they just kept telling me chemo. But as many of you may know, I did take a round of chemo when I first was diagnosed with cancer, and I almost died. So I vowed to not do it. And God had told me that He wanted to heal me. He wanted me to go the holistic approach for healing my body. So when I was just in this desperate need trying to get to doctors, I was looking up doctors all over the world, pretty much. So we had initially set up a fundraiser for me in my hometown, Pensacola, and to raise money for me to go to Cancun, Mexico, to Hope for Cancer, which is a holistic treatment center for cancer. Well, I had to have $35,000 up front, cash, whatever, and I did not have it. My fundraiser, I did not, raise that much. I think I may have raised maybe $5,000, if that. And I got discouraged because I came home in the thought process that my city, would really, help me out. I don't ask for much. I'm not a bad person. I don't have a bad reputation in my city. It's a small town. Everybody pretty much know everybody. I started out my first business here. And I really thought that I would have a lot of support, but I didn't. And I got very, very discouraged because I really, wanted to go to Cancun because of the treatment center that was referred to me. It was a great treatment center, but it did not happen that way. So went back home to Georgia, and I just became very, very ill. Even during my fundraiser, I almost didn't make it to my fundraiser because I was so sick. I had C. diff, bacterial pneumonia infection, COVID, all of those at the same time. So when I came home in October to see my family, I was 97 pounds. So I went from 45 pounds to 97 pounds. My family were like, what in the world? What happened? You're small, you're fragile. You've never been this size. And it was painful, to be that small as well. So when I got back to Georgia, because we end up, being able to leave our children here in Florida, and it was bad, y'all. It was very bad. I screamed night after night after night, calling out to God, but I really had not really let go and really allowed God to guide me through this. I was looking at the physical, of how my breast looked, how much pain I was in. I mean, the pain, I just can't, words cannot describe the pain that I was going through. But my faith had not kicked in until I came back from Dallas. So I found a holistic doctor in Dallas, Texas. Me and my husband, we booked the appointment. We got our plane tickets. We got our hotel, and we flew to Dallas. I was okay with going there. I wasn't in I was in pain, but not that bad. But as we stayed there for like about 3 days, we stayed there. I could not sleep in the bed with him. I was in so much pain. I just couldn't sleep, period. So I didn't get much sleep at all while I was there. Even before then, I would sleep maybe 30 minutes a day. At night, I'm just up all night screaming and hollering because it was horrible. And the doctors could not tell me, what it was, what that was giving me all this pain. So I pretty much was just leaning more towards the doctors to help me. And they couldn't at all. So that's when that crazy faith came in. I had to really just surrender and just say, God, I need you. I need you more than anything. I need you to help me get through this. I have 3 small children and my husband who need me. And I'm not gonna die like this. Like, no, I'm not going to go out like this. So it did not work with the holistic doctor as far as the protocols that she had given me. I think I spent like $900+ just in that one appointment. Getting, herbal supplements and, the exams and all that. And everything pretty much made me sicker. I was nauseous to the point where I did not eat for like 2 days. My breast was even deteriorating even more. I just didn't know what to do. So one day I was just, like I say, home. And by this time the kids had came back home, and God said, pick up your bed and walk. So I told my husband, let's go for a walk. I want to try to walk. And with his assistance, I walked. You guys, I kid you not. Something said run, and I took off and ran like a sprinter. Like, I just took off and ran. I don't know why, and I don't know how, but it happened. And after that, I collapsed. My husband, I didn't hurt myself or anything. He was like, he was right there with me. and he got me, and I was like, baby, it's time to come home. It's time for us to go home. And that was for us to come to Pensacola, Florida, so that I continue my healing. And I say all this to say is that, you have to sometimes go through things to kind of bring out that crazy faith, out of you. Because I honestly had gotten my faith at one point was up here, and then throughout the journey, it just dropped. And I was like, oh my God, like, I don't think I'm going to be able to get through this. In the beginning, I was like, God got me. I'm going to be all right. This and this and that or whatever. God is going to heal me. But I was not expecting to go through so much during this journey. The pain, the letdowns, guys, so much had happened, and I didn't know what to do. And I had to build up my faith. I had to really, know that I'm going to be okay no matter what the situation looks like. I'm going to be okay. In this picture that I'm showing you right now, I was in the, coming from Dallas or whatever. By the time we left Dallas, I had to be in a wheelchair. My husband had to wheelchair me through the airport, literally almost carry me. It was horrible, guys, and when you, lose mobility of you walking, you kind of lose faith in everything, You don't know, what's going on. You don't know if you're going to be able to make it through this or not or whatever. Most people, when they hear cancer, they think of a death sentence. I know I did. My grandmother had just passed in January 2019, and I was diagnosed with cancer in 2019. So not only for me, but for my family around me, it was very just hurtful, to hear those words. And my grandmother had crazy faith, but even her faith was a little, rocky because of what was going on. When you're dealing with any type of disease or, any type of trauma, whether it can be a divorce, it can be a loss of a child, your mental goes into a different space, you kind of, don't really have that faith, like you really had in the beginning. But I can tell you now, my faith is back up here, y'all, because not only did God bring me through all of that, he restored my health. I'm still going through, my treatments and whatnot. Just last week, week before last, I thought, like I said in the video, that I had my last chemo treatment, but I don't know yet. I won't know until next week when I speak with my doctor, because my doctor was gone, but just looking back at everything that I had been through, y'all, I'm telling y'all don't know the half of what I've been through. And it's not, it's not really easy for me to talk about it, but I know that I have to obey God, and I have to bring out all this amazing testimony so that somebody else can heal, somebody else can get inspired. I'm not just telling this, just to be telling it. No, it's to help someone else, because I've been through sexual abuse, I've been through physical abuse as a child, and I never let that define me. I always, looked at, the bigger picture of it, the better side of it. And now I'm here, almost 30 years old. I have 3 children. I have a wonderful husband. I am, overcoming stage 4, breast cancer. And it's nobody but God, just me having my faith in him, knowing that he's going to bring me out of it. And he did, he really, really did. I had brain cancer, just in December. We're just in March, so that was just a few months ago. And look at me now. You wouldn't even know that I had brain cancer unless I told you. I'm still a little slowed up. At one point, my whole left side, I barely had any mobility in it. And I hear from other people, they say, you had brain surgery or whatever. My mom or my sister, they had it, and oh my gosh, they're still in a wheelchair or they're on a walker. But it was nobody but God who brought me through this. And I had to really, have a really strong faith in him to be able to get through this. And I tell any and everybody, you have to have that crazy faith sometimes. You have to have that crazy faith, when you're going after your goals and your dreams. I'm an event planner. I have a skincare line with my husband. I'm right now becoming a life coach. I also am writing my first book. I have a lot of things going on, and I've only been out the hospital just few months. We're just in March, and I was out of the hospital in December, coming from brain surgery, and look at me now. And I just want to encourage everyone that you can do it. You can get through your darkest times in life, but you just have to have faith in yourself and just push through no matter what. That's all that you need. You need that crazy faith to get through it or whatever. They told me I wouldn't have a venue or whatever. My business wouldn't, be good or whatever. This, and that, and the third. But look at me now. I'm going into almost my 5th year into my first business as far as being an event planner, even though I had to take off for a year due to COVID was going on. Then I was diagnosed with cancer. But I still did things. I even, published my first ebook to teach, up and coming event planners how to start their creative business. I created a formula, all of this. I did this while I was down, as they say, with cancer or whatever. But I knew that God had something bigger for me. I knew that God was not going to have death upon me because he told me so. And I'm here to give you my testimony and to just let you know, just have that crazy faith, man. I'm telling you, look at me. I had crazy faith. Even though it got rocky, it was up and down, but I kept my faith. I did. I kept my faith no matter what was going on. I'm like, God, you're going to get me through this. I know you're going to get me through this. I had to literally write sticky notes, all over my mirror to remind myself of who I am and what I'm capable of doing, because I know that I'm strong. My babies call me Superwoman. I'm Superwoman, because it's hard. You're trying to juggle so much. We're trying to be wives, we're trying to be mothers, we're trying to be daughters, we're trying to be entrepreneurs. Even if we're in the work field working for somebody, we still have to deal with all this stuff and come up and be strong. But hey, sometimes that faith, it goes down, but you got to bring it right back up. So I just want to leave that with you guys, and y'all just keep that crazy faith, baby. Keep that crazy faith. I'm here, to talk with anyone. If you want to email me, you can. DM me, Facebook, Instagram. I'm an open book, but you'll be getting some more of my journeys as we come. So like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.